Hi everyone, and welcome back as I continue my look at selected episodes of Blake 7, and I continue with Season 2, and we're off with an insurrection on the planet Albion. The Albions are fighting back against the Federation, and they are winning. They are storming each area of the Federation complex and moving ever nearer to the Federation Command Center. At the heart of the Command Center is Space Major Provine, which we assume is the Major is the one who's in charge of the base. And he issues his order that they know they are beaten to implement the backup plan, that of the sodium bomb, and he starts the countdown. He and his number 2 exit through a secret doorway, and fortunately there's a cave-in from where Provine and his number 2 are. His number 2 is killed in the fallout, and Provine is sort of trapped on the other side of the door because the Albions have now reached the command center and stormed it. So Provine is trapped on the other side of this secret doorway, and the Albions discover that Provine has in fact activated the sodium bomb. Little do they know that Blake is on his way to Albion, but Blake is going to Albion for one reason. He has picked up a name, Provine, and Provine should know the location of Control, which Blake tried to take but walked into a trap. Anyway, Blake and his crew received news of a insurrection that took place on Albion, but nevertheless Blake, Avon and Villa teleport down to Albion. The Albions try to disarm the bomb. They think it's the bomb, but it's not actually the bomb. Avon is the one who points that out. Meanwhile, on the other side of the door, Provine is overhearing all of this, and he's just waiting for an opportunity to escape. And that opportunity does come about when Ravik's the only one left in the command area of this base. Meanwhile, Blake, Avon and Villa are looking around. They're seeing bodies everywhere. It was one heck of a fight. Avon points out these are elite forces, Federation forces that is, and clearly they got beaten. As they look around the place, they discover a room containing what looks like a short-range escape rocket. They're not quite sure why it's there, but nevertheless it's there. Anyway, eventually they come face to face with Corda, the commander of the Albions, who led the rebellion, but the military side of the campaign, you could say, was conducted by somebody else. Anyway, Proton has now escaped the command center. He's overpowered Ravik. He's put his helmet on so she couldn't see who he is. He's knocked her unconscious and put her on the other side of the secret doorway, while Provine is obviously making his way to the rocket silo. Blake and Corda are talking to one another. Corda's filling him in with all the details and so on. And this is where Avon makes the discovery. This is not actually the bomb. This is just a timing mechanism. The bomb is somewhere else on the planet, because this mechanism will send out the signal to the bomb to destruct. So they now need to find out where the bomb is. Meanwhile, Provine has made his way to the rocket silo and is captured. But Provine overpowers his guard, and then Provine takes the uniform of the Albion so he can blend in. Meanwhile, Villa breaks into the safe, hoping to find out the workings of this bomb and where it is on the planet. And whatever he takes out of the safe, he goes back up to the Liberator, and him and Aurak start working on the information he's taken out of the safe so they can find out the location of the bomb. Meanwhile, the mercenary who led the Albions, Dale Grant, comes face to face with Avon, and they have issues going back a very long way. And it's like a frosty reception between those two. But before it gets any further, Ravik manages to open the door where she's concealed, and she basically says she was overpowered by a Federation trooper. Couldn't see his face because he had the helmet on. That person obviously was Provine, who's loose on the base. Blake goes into the tunnel with Del Grant, and he puts these theories to Del, and they put two and two together. Basically, Provine's still on the loose, and he's making his way to the rocket silo. Meanwhile, Avon has to work with Del because Villa has returned to the surface of Albion with the information, and the location of the bomb is under a ice cap. So, Del Grant and Avon teleport back up to the Liberator to get cold weather gear on, and obviously all the stuff they need for disarming the bomb. It's rather frosty between these two, but they are putting their differences aside because the bomb is the most important thing. And they then teleport back down to the location where the bomb is, and they start to look around and they locate it. Meanwhile, Ravik has identified Provine, shown Villa the picture of Provine. Villa says, "Oh my, this is the man who is with Blake heading to the rocket silo." So Villa makes a mad dash out to locate Blake. Meanwhile, back with Avon and Del Grant, they are slowly but surely making good progress in disarming the bomb. But the countdown is still counting down. So, Blake enters the rocket silo with Provine, discovers the Albion dead, missing his uniform. Provine shoots at Blake. There's a bit of a scuffle between the two, and it's Provine who comes off worse. He staggers out the corridor. He's dying. Just before he dies, Blake is asking him, "Where is Control?" Provine says Control was moved to some place called Star 1, and he's also given him a name of a cyber surgeon before he dies. Meanwhile, Del Grant and Avon are fighting a collapsing roof of ice because they put the heaters on. So the ice is melting, the roof is collapsing in on them, and they're running out of time fast. They decide to hell with it, throw the bracelets away so they can't be teleported out, and let's get on with the job. Avon saves Del Grant's life from the falling of the roof. Blake contacts the Liberator. Jenna tells him Avon and Del Grant are out of contact. But nevertheless, Avon and Del have done it. They have disarmed the bomb and saved Albion. And they put their differences to one side as they make up for the events of the past. And on that note, final thoughts. Countdown is one of my favourite episodes, and there's a lot going on in this particular episode, because obviously you've got the Albion revolt against the Federation, where they beat the Federation, but the Federation have activated the sodium bomb, which will destroy all living matter and leave the base intact, basically, because it's a short-term radiation. So they could just move back in, the Federation. So the Albions win this battle, but they're not quite won the war. Now, while all this is going on, Blake is heading to Albion on a separate matter, because he's on the search for Space Major Provine, who is based on Albion. Now, he wants to come face to face with Provine on a different matter, control. And that's what Blake wants to destroy. He had one crack at it before, and it turned out to be, well, fake. And he now got a lead, a name. So he obviously now turns up on Albion just after the battle that's taken place to try and locate Provine. The Albions also want to locate Provine because they think he's the only one who can disarm the bomb. And while this is going on, we have another storyline, which is the first part of this particular storyline, involving Del Grant and Avon, about Avon's last day on Earth, because Del Grant is the brother of Anna, and she and Avon were an item. So you got this bit of a backstory that goes on between these two. Now, this story does not actually conclude until an episode in season 3. And fortunately, that is one episode I am definitely reviewing. So you'll have to hold out till then. So you get these 3 storylines. You got the Avon storyline, you got the Albion storyline, and you got Blake's storyline. And obviously the upshot is Grant and Avon settle their differences. Avon, tells his side of what happened on that last day. Blake comes face to face with Provine. He gets a name out of Provine, and he now knows that control has been moved to some place called Star 1. And yes, the Federation sodium bomb is disarmed. Great episode, Countdown. Absolutely enjoyed this one. Fantastic. And on that note, have a great day. See you soon. Bye.